welcome. Feel free to.
Hey.
The first part of the evening, as people are hopping on, is really going to be an experience. Joshua is the store manager here at the Fillmore, live actually from In the Black Marketplace. So we're going to let everybody have a moment to join us. So more people will be coming in, and Josh is there to really give us a tour, talk about the amazing community programs and shop and whole concept of what's happening and all that In the Black is making. And yeah, we're excited to get everybody in to hear more from you, Josh.
Yeah, I couldn't be more excited myself to be able to share this opportunity with y'all. So thank you so much for joining already. And yeah, here at In the Black, even right now, we have a lot of our members of the community who have come into store, hang out, chat with us and everything. So we love to kind of operate within that space of being a retail space, but also a community-driven space to, you know, create new opportunities for just feeling welcome, you know, in your own home neighborhood. So really excited to share with y'all today about In the Black, as well as, you know, give you a little tour of the space.
Amazing, amazing. We'll wait a couple more minutes as people are coming over to see this part of the evening. So it is a sip and shop. I always want to just let everybody know that we have shared some of the circle information for where you can, of course, check it out anytime. I'll do a quick screen share. So when you are able to access everything here, you can go in, and there's a great video where you can watch this incredible shop, and it's about 3 minutes. It was on the news. This is actually before you open, Joshua, so that we definitely recommend taking.
Oh wow.
This we can play for everybody. Would you like us to kick off with that? Maybe give them a little bit of kind of before we even open.
Yeah, I love that idea. Let's do that for sure.
Great. Awesome. Well, as everybody comes in, I'm going to go ahead and play.
It was once the center of Black brilliance, Black achievement in San Francisco. Then in the 60s, it became the focus of urban renewal, essentially bulldozing businesses and shuttering dozens of doors in an area once known as the Harlem of the West.
We feel like our voice wasn't heard as the African-American community being based out of Fillmore for so long. So this is bringing that back.
That is Pia Harris. She's the driving force behind a new marketplace called In the Black, and its aim is to sustain and revive Black-owned businesses in the Fillmore district. So I spent some time in the Fillmore talking with two Black entrepreneurs about their soon-to-be new home. The only place to show clothing designs for Siani Jackson is outside the Fillmore Center in San Francisco's Fillmore district. Siani is the founder and owner of Sick Apparel.
So this is one of my latest designs. It's pretty fun. It showcases a lot of my different patches.
And you can see what she does. She makes clothes that represents the proud resiliency of being Black. That resiliency restrained by high rent. So right now, she doesn't have a brick and mortar.
The world is constantly trying to bring us down as a people, and we need to be able to feel proud.
For Siani, that sense of pride comes with just a few steps down the Fillmore. She thinks back to the 1950s and 60s.
There were tons of Black businesses. This used to be the Black Mecca for businesses.
In fact, this neighborhood was known as the Harlem of the West. Now, with these business leaders, there's a plan to revive the Fillmore. Quan Moore is seeing the beginning stages of this marketplace. It's called In the Black.
Wow, look at this.
Wow.
This is beautiful.
Wow.
Yes. Okay.
And it will promote wealth building for Black businesses. Quan owns Kwani's African Shop. Her business doesn't have a storefront either, but she's ready to make this her runway.
My pastor gonna be watching now. I can't do too much.
That's the pure joy from Quan. This will house 22 Black entrepreneurs, giving them a chance to build a sustainable business by offering affordable rent. So they'll be splitting the rent. Organizers say rent in this neighborhood range from $6,000 to $15,000 a month. So In the Black will be a lifeline.
Words can't even explain. All I know is that God is opening doors and I'm going through.
A door that used to be a check cashing place, taking money from this Black community, that same door will soon be one that will be an economic anchor for Siani and nearly 24 other Black entrepreneurs.
So it's an amazing feeling to be able to kind of come full circle and have my products here, and hope that we can, bring support to all the other Black businesses in the marketplace.
All right, so this will mean so much to people like Siani and Quan. Now, In the Black is set to open in December. Jocelyn, I'll send it over to you.
So that was during the pandemic, right? So this is when the shop, and I just want to give a shout out. We've got some people coming in online from Oakland, which is just across the water. So we definitely are excited as people are coming in for the sip and shop portion of the evening. This is where we are getting a firsthand virtual or in real life, depending on which one you're doing this evening, with the manager of In the Black. Joshua, I'm going to pass it over to you. We just watched an amazing video, and it was incredible to see the transformation, because it was actually just like framing there. And then how quickly did it turn into, we need to just a look around and a tour, because it is such a big transformation time.
Absolutely. And so the process started actually over the course of 2022. The idea was birthed out of the fact that during the pandemic, so many Black-owned businesses had, were met with a lot of situations where they were not able to continue their business or strengthen it over that time. So when In the Black finally opened, during 2022, we really opened up a space that, like you said earlier, used to be just a check cashing place. Like, this was a portion of the neighborhood that took money in but did not bring it back into our neighborhood at all. And so one of the beautiful things, and I'm going to give you a tour here in just a second. You'll see we have a second camera there with my name, which is showing our floor right now. But one of the beautiful things that we did get to do is just, we bring money into our neighborhood, and that money now stays here. And it goes back into supporting, people who live in this neighborhood. So many of we have 2 different employees who live here in the city, and one of them actually lives in the Fillmore as well. So we truly are creating some new opportunities for the Fillmore neighborhood to thrive, So yeah, let me head out to the floor real quick, and I'll give you a brief tour. Hang on one second. I'm gonna switch cameras.
Very cool. And then more people are joining us for the Sip and Shop virtual experience, as well as, you're welcome to stop on by if you are parking right now in the Fillmore to check it out. They are open all evening while we're doing this workshop. And right now, just share with us if you're tuning in, where you're tuning in from. Love to see all the communities that impact and supporting each other is something that is really valued. Oh, this looks amazing. I'm going to let you.
Yeah. So as I'm walking around right now, one of the things that you're first presented with, which is just a message about our business, says we are a creative and entrepreneurial marketplace for Black community empowerment, wealth building, and prosperity. And so that's kind of how we start every day as a team, just reminding ourselves that, the products that we sell here are to give some of our business owners here, such as Freestyle & Co. Over to the left here, we also have Ice Body Skincare, all natural, all made here in California, literally maybe 60 miles from where we are right now, if that, in Brentwood, so very nearby. And as we go through, you'll see there's so many different options here. We have some clothing choices from some of our businesses, such as Audrey, Quan, who you saw in that video. Just a lot of lovely pieces to choose from. And also just something for everyone. That's one of the things we always try to make sure we highlight, is that our products aren't designed exclusively for our community. They are made by our community to be appreciated and enjoyed by everyone. So a little bit of something in the house for everybody. We really would love for you guys to come down, check us out, and to get to continue to share parts of our story with you.
This is so cool. I was just putting in the link to your online marketplace.
Oh, awesome. Thank you.
And that is where, of course, you do ship. So yes, they're local. Yes, they support the community. Yes, incredible opportunity to give back and also to get some really artisanal type unique items, which is every time I go in fact, I'm wearing earrings from the last time I went in. These were really great from an artist who created them. So
I love to see it.
Yeah, and I think, what's so nice about it is that you do get to learn about the stories of these entrepreneurs, and you do get to really be affected and in such a positive way, giving back to the community. And we all are shopping for stuff, and I know there's a lot of holidays coming up. There's even like Valentine's and all sorts of excuses to give yourself a little bit of a treat or to share something really special and unique that maybe you give someone else. It could be Galentine. There's so many things coming up. So definitely check out the shop. There's a variety of things, even if you just want to support and get a gift card and decide later what you want. Definitely, we encourage you to do so, because this is a really incredible project that is kind of a model. Can you share with us, Joshua? This is very unique in the entire country of something that came out of the pandemic and the concept. For those who might have just joined, maybe tell us a little bit more about the vision of where this is going and you want it to go now that you guys are open.
Yeah, so one of the core pieces of what we do and was shared in that video is that the rent that we're paying for this space is shared by all the businesses that are in here. And the way that we go about accomplishing that is being able to split that number into a way that it becomes economically feasible for all of these, up and coming business owners to be able to afford. So in our current scenario, all of our business owners are paying around $650 a month, which for any of our people who remember the good old days in San Francisco, $650 could get you a place to stay, So being able to throw back to a price point that really still feels kind of palpable and like achievable as a business owner, especially, leaves them with a lot of room to be able to try ideas out, to experiment with their current business, think on scalability and so on. So a lot of what we're trying to do now with our business owners, now that they've kind of gotten the taste of what that feels like to be like, okay, I need to hit this certain dollar amount. And in order to do that, knowing what the expectations that come with that are, as we look toward 2024, one of our biggest pieces is realizing that everyone is desiring to shop in person again, but we are all learning how to be in person again. And so there's a window, kind of like a piece that, is missing there as people are getting that comfort and that skill back up. And so we're looking to hopefully, transition even what our businesses understand, and look at how to do business online. How do you build a community online of customers, of, fans of your product, to the point where they'll desire to be like, oh, you are at this place now? Well, I desire to be there also. I want to see you in person so I can support you. So a lot of our business owners currently do a lot of pop-ups. We create a lot of opportunities for them to do pop-ups as well. We work with FoodWise and the Ferry Building. We just had an event at the California Academy of Sciences where we've built these different partnerships to be able to create additional ways for our vendors to get feedback from customers, as well as getting having their products exposed really to other portions of the city. Because no matter how we slice or dice it, sometimes we get into our own habits, and we'll go to the same neighborhoods where we do our normal, I have got my coffee shop that I go to every single time I come to the city and so on. So our hope is that as we look towards this year, the biggest changes that we can do is to help our business owners take their personas in real life and translate that into a digital one where their customers can experience them as they would in real life and want to marry those two things.
Oh my gosh, I think that's one of the blessings I'm so excited about us connecting, right? Is being able to realize the value of that, because if we can figure that out, how to take that persona, how to take our passion for what it is that we're doing, what we've created. Obviously, these are very passionate entrepreneurs who believe in their products, who are doing it for a very mission-driven, often reason. And so there's a big story there. And so you're able to, with workshops like this and other opportunities, provide the skills and the tools for these entrepreneurs to just keep leveling up and developing that and getting that next way to expand their business, expand their offerings, but also tap into that social capital, who they are, and how do we convert that social capital in the digital world and create these virtual connections, create these virtual customers, and drive all of that together into some sort of community support. That I love the way you said everybody can be fans of these brands.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's the goal. So I'm looking forward to, being able to just share with them. We'll have a few of them joining with us today as well. So hopefully we'll be able to get a couple of, in-person conversations with some of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're looking forward to being able to share this information with our team, with our community in large. So thanks everyone for also making time to, to support this with us.
It's so fun just to have this bird's eye view, like the fly on the wall. I'm glad that you were able to set up that other camera. This is live right now as people are coming in. And what's so cool is the video that we played earlier. You're welcome to watch it on your own. I'm going to just do a quick share so in case you tuned in for the sip and shop portion of the evening, where you can check this out. So this is part of the virtual experience. So of course, not all of us can be in San Francisco in the Fillmore, but that's okay. We have this virtual portal now on Skillville for In the Black shop, and this is where we've put some really cool things up on the board. So whether you are just learning about In the Black, there's the video here we played earlier. You can play that at any time. That is really an exciting story of how it all began, and it wasn't that long ago in 2022. I mean, it's incredible how fast this can happen when the community comes together, and it's such an inspiring story, but it's just the beginning. Like now, I think what's really exciting is what you're talking about, this next leveling up, this next pop-ups and workshops, and embracing how these brands can take their persona, use digital tools, use technology to take it to that next level and really build something huge together. There's also a shopping thing here. We put in a task. You don't have to shop. Of course, these are all just recommendations or things we thought you might like to browse virtually. You can click there. I also put the link to the In the Black shop in the chat as well to make it a little bit of a shortcut. There's always things there if you're thinking of doing something as a gift or just for yourself. It supports the community, of course. Financially, make sure that the products are moving off those shelves. And then this is a little bit of a history of the Fillmore. So one of the reasons that we were very excited to partner with you and honored that we were able to get on the calendar during February, during Black History Month, is because of this really incredible history that lives here and resides here.
I actually grew up in this community here in the Fillmore. I can vividly remember as a small child going up and down Fillmore Street and seeing delis and seeing record stores and seeing barbershops and so many Black-owned businesses. The Fillmore has always been considered the Harlem of the West.
San Francisco, unfortunately, has a legacy and history of disinvestment, displacement, neglect, and abuse in the Black community. This community is still suffering the effects of that. We owe it collectively as a society to invest in the Black community.
If we want to sustain what we have as well as build up economic wealth in our community, it has to happen through entrepreneurship.
We're not coming from generational wealth where people have taught us how to save and what we need to do.
The city, through the Dreamkeeper initiative, has come out with a whole economic development arena that has resulted in the funding that we're tapping into to create this whole Minding My Own Black Business program. Now they'll have opportunities to spend their dollars in the store and spend it on Black entrepreneurs.
The resources do more than just put money in people's pocket. It provides an opportunity for them to get support and access to information that they otherwise probably wouldn't have gotten access to.
This is the first time that the city has actually given money not just to train folks, but to actually open the business.
So I just can't think of a better opportunity for someone who likes to be on the cutting edge of what's coming to invest of themselves, their resources, their dollars into this particular initiative.
This is really a chance to make sure that Black businesses have a healthy start.
I'm not by myself. We got support. And not only do we have support from you all, but we have support from one another.
This is feel like a new San Francisco right now. The whole era, supporting Black for me has never been at an all-time high.
Don't miss your opportunity to invest in us. Don't miss your opportunity to be a part of us.
You would want to be a part of this.
Write big checks, people, please.
This is our chance.
I'm a resident of the Fillmore. I moved here just in 2019 with my husband. One of the reasons that we were very excited to partner with you and honored that we were able to get on the calendar during February, during Black History Month, is because of this really incredible history that lives here and resides here. I'm a resident of the Fillmore. I moved here just in 2019 with my husband and our Shih Tzu Bernie, who I would show, but he's passed out sleeping next to me. And this is how I found out about In the Black. I was walking Bernie down the street and I came across one of Joshua's great sip-in shops and stopped in, and that's how I found out about this. And so it's exciting for us to share and really expose another community of impact, which there's quite a few of them joining us with Google developer groups and some of the other communities who've been invited here today to really showcase you guys and what you're doing there. Oh, great. I see we've got Jarvis, your camera is on. You're welcome to say hello, anybody. We like to hear from you. It's fun for Josh and the people in the Black to see where you guys are coming from. Hey.
Hello.
Hey,
I'm from St. Louis.
St. Louis, Missouri. Oh my gosh, Joshua, did you expect that?
I did not. That's wonderful, man. Thank you for joining us today.
Okay, thanks for the invite.
Cool. Thanks, Jarvis. This is so awesome. St. Louis, Missouri. Can you believe that? I mean, I'm telling you, our communities are so much closer than we realize. And it always is nerve-wracking to do something like this. In fact, this is our first one. So thank everyone for running through this beta test run together as we are really playing with different technology and opening doors and making really great connections with awesome people. So if you have anything you want to share, maybe community projects that you're involved with or organizations, feel free to drop that in the side as well. This is, obviously, we are all communities of impact. That's one of the things about Tech2Connect is we are all using technology and other skills and tools to be able to transform it into impact. An impact in our community. So don't be shy if you want to share something that is going on, upcoming, that you're working on, that's making a difference in your community. This is a great moment while we're just sipping and shopping around virtually in the Black together. So that is something I invite you to do. As I just take you through the virtual shopping experience, kind of giving you the lay of the land virtually of In the Black, besides the tasks, one of the things that we do before our workshop is we kind of put in some prep. So as we get in about 10 minutes getting ready for the workshop, just start to like shut down all those other tabs, distractions. We put in some gifts there we thought would be fun. If you need to take a breath, it's been a long day. This one I thought was a great image that we pulled up. We're going to roll up our sleeves. This is very practical. So what we are doing like this is just like us experimenting with this technology tonight and how we can support this community here in the Fillmore, our community, and this amazing project and all of the entrepreneurs that are a part of this together. it's hands-on. So this is a totally different probably type of workshop than maybe you've experienced other places where it was focused totally on tech or totally on impact and cause. It's a really kind of fun in between. Like, we're going to be doing this by the end of the evening. You're going to have your own plan of action, something you can do within the next 30 days. And we're going to do it together. So hopefully that'll start to set the scene for our workshop. And if you want to say hello, you can answer one of our questions we've got here. Will automatically show up. So if you want to answer your introduction question or share with us who you are, I am your host for the workshop part. Co-host, really, Joshua is hosting us on the Sip and Shop, which we're doing right now. And then a unique skill or passion that you have. Anything that you want to share, it will automatically, when you answer the question, it will show up underneath your profile. So definitely do that. You can answer questions here in the questions tab. And that is all you need to know for what's coming up on the workshop. But while we have Joshua, you there live, can we get some close-ups of some of the product? What is the hottest thing right now in the black? And it's hard to choose, but I think just maybe show some of the ones that maybe are new.
Definitely. Give me a second and I'll walk around and show you guys some of our top items right now. We've got a customer in store who's actually browsing a couple that I really love.
Nice.
As we heard earlier, these are some of the jackets from Sick Apparel from Ciani. I'm going to pull one out for you and show you.
I feel a little like QVC, but it is true. Jackets in person, the quality is amazing, and the patches are so cool. Like, to me, this is so the Fillmore. I see people wearing them around, and it's just like, oh yeah, that is so cool. Any thumbs up? We get any emojis on that one? Yeah, that's
those are products. Is that they're hand patched, like all hand embroidered. So what you're seeing is truly just like it's like a level of skillsmanship and quality that you don't get everywhere. And then, one of the nice things I think about our store right now, especially, is that depending on what you're looking for, we have kind of like the whole outfit. You can come in and shop for it. So that can be something as simple as leggings or, hosiery for an event or something, or the casual jackets, as we mentioned earlier. Give me a second. I'm going to plug my headphones back in. My phone is fell.
So cool. And I am just sharing screen while you're walking around. So what you saw, I opened up the catalog. Let's go to the shop. And I believe the shop you said was Click Apparel. So this is who you can learn about Ciani, who you've mentioned, and her story. You can go to her website. You could shop these items. I mean, it's very cool. It's such a fun, easy way to really get to browse. I think this is the one you were just showing us.
Yeah, it is. She has it in a couple of different colorways also. So that desert camo that you're looking at there on the picture, the one I just picked up is considered our like a forest green.
Cool. Yeah, so this is, you can honestly go down the rabbit hole and enjoy shopping by all the brands. And what I love about what you guys did in the online shopping is really being able to learn about each of the brands.
Right. It's not just enough, I think, for us to be able to sell their products. And forgive me, I'm having also a couple of technical difficulties, but I think one of the most important things is that we not only sell their products, but also we introduce people to the brand themselves, and the fact that, like, this person's, the story behind the products that you're looking at can sometimes be as important as the product themselves. Audrey is, B Boutique. She had owned a boutique in Oakland for over 20 years before she also joined at our store. So, a lot of times I feel like people may think that, like, the average Black entrepreneur is just doing a pop-up or it's a short-term window, but there are truly some of our entrepreneurs who have been in business as long as, we've been on computers and everything else. So it's truly it's truly exciting to kind of get to witness that and be able to, share that part of the story with our customers as we go around. So
it's so huge, and some of these I'm just randomly clicking on, but this one, there's a few of these I've seen in the window. You guys do a great job changing the window, so not all of us are able to walk by the window like the locals can.
Right.
Our showstoppers, I mean, every time, these are the earrings I got a little while ago. Every time I wear something or are using it, I feel like I always get a compliment. It's almost like people can sense that it's special, even without saying it. I don't know. That's just been my personal experience, and I'm not like, I don't make commission on anything here. Like, I'm just sharing that as my experience.
I think what's really been great is that also a lot of our customers know the vendors themselves as well. So there is a certain level of like knowing that the dollar you're spending today is staying within that same neighborhood, which makes really a huge difference as you're starting to, especially as we think a little bit more transparently about where our dollars are going to, what, certain corporations are doing with that money as well. We want to make sure that, at the end of the day, that dollar is being spent in a way that aligns with our own personal values. And so I think our store really allows our customers, both online and in person, to make that choice and feel comfortable with that choice, because that at the end of the day, the $20 you spent on, some soaps, or the, $50 you spent on a hoodie or something, automatically that's going to go back into a real business person that you can walk past, possibly have a coffee with if you desire. And they live so nearby. So we love it. We're really happy, and we're hoping to continue in this, this journey of finding, these opportunities that are needed, and finding the different business owners out there who are looking to have their products, in a store, or, really just kind of, again, explore with retail in that kind of fashion. So
I love it. And, it's so fun to see the diversity of the products you're carrying. You even have some in the black products. You guys have your own brand, which is great. As a local here, I love that. And I think what's really, really exciting, as you mentioned, was that, you are in a way, the impact of your dollars. It's helping the neighborhood and the community. And I'm amazed the prices are still really reasonable. This is not a crazy premium. If anything, these are incredible prices at a very affordable, doable, way to support the community. And in a way, that's our ability to really vote with our dollars and say, okay, this is what we care about. Put our money towards.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more there. I think it is so important, as we work with our businesses, we've actually been teaching them the power of a dollar and the power of a price point, and being uniquely positioned where we are, we have so many of our local neighbors who may have already shopped with the business as a pop-up, and then we have people who are coming from the area considered like Upper Fillmore, where they may have already dropped $60, $30, $40, $100 on a t-shirt or something. Yeah. So teaching them that, you can have a price, you can have certain items that kind of match what everyone's needs are. And that dollar amount not necessarily being only, being so low that it just like makes it seem really easy to purchase, or so high that it becomes out of, context. So that has been another part of kind of the, some of the trainings and the different seminars that we provide our vendors with.
As we're getting ready to shift into the workshop portion, which is part of those trainings that you're talking about, one of the big missions of In the Black is to provide the skills to be a community place, a gathering space. It's not just for selling. The concept of the marketplace being where we meet, we congregate, we support the community, we learn from each other in the community, and that's how we level up all of us together. And that's something that really resonated with us at Skillville, we're all about leveling up in skills and the power of community to do that amongst ourselves. I mean, a lot of this is just, we don't have to spend extra money to do it. It's being very conscientious and aware and purpose driven. So when we do it, we know what our goals are, what we want to do, and what we are hoping to get out of it together. And that's just a frame shift almost, you know? So Joshua, was that part of the forward look, the goals of the store beyond the products? You know, how do we get the frame shifts of the entrepreneurs?
Exactly. That is absolutely the next kind of phase for us, because I tell the vendors very often when we come in and we have meetings, you know, the easiest part of what you've done so far was getting into the store. You know, there are always some barriers and hoops to go through, but in truth, creating a product, you know, that part up until that point takes, you know, panache and money, right? But longevity in your business, scalability in your business, understanding enough about, you know, your vision and identity for it, is what's really going to take you into that 2nd to 5th year to 10th year and so on. So we really are doubling down this year and partnering with groups like Skillville, especially, so that we're able to hopefully create further knowledge points and opportunities and access to knowledge for our business owners, but also educate and then train them on how to do that themselves, so that they can hopefully also, you know, take that knowledge and really share it with the next person. Because truthfully, that is how we start to change some of the narratives that are shared about these neighborhoods. It's just through additional knowledge and free knowledge shared kind of across the board. So
I love that. Definitely, as people are coming in for the workshop, we're going to start in just a minute. And Joshua, what you have shared with us, the amazing tour, the transformation, seeing it from when CBS covered it on the news during the pandemic, and in less than or about a year, what it is today. Congratulations, you and the team.
Thank you so much.
I mean, this is a huge effort. Why don't you share some of the foundations and partners that made this possible? It's definitely a presentation of community coming together.
Yeah, we wouldn't be anywhere without our partners. And to start that, you know, we work with the San Francisco Housing Development Corporation. They're our parent company, and they have been influential in truly giving us the team, as well as the knowledge needed to really keep this program afloat. And beyond that, we also work with Dream Keepers Initiative, the Human Rights Commission, as well as the Office of Economic Workforce Development. So it's always a huge thanks to them who support us in finding opportunities, be it through grant funding, be it through getting access to opportunities such as events that we've done, or also being able to leverage the different members of their teams, so that we can either gain the knowledge or get the door open, so that we can find some of those other opportunities, because that is truly also how this happens. It is through the who you knows and the who supports you of the world that we're able to sometimes move the ship forward. So, but a huge thank you to all of our partners.
Yeah, it's an amazing, impressive group. It's growing, of course, like anything. It's like once you get that first partner, it feels like gravity starts to happen and all the other partners start coming on board. So, one of the reasons we wanted to showcase this before the workshop is this is an example. It could be done. This has been done in a year and a half, during a pandemic. So just know that this is hopefully a model that may inspire or give you ideas for your communities of impact and how you might want to implement. We're sharing all of this knowledge, which is something that is very important to us, for everybody to bring their skills, their superpowers, their experiences, and share it. Because you said it, Joshua, it's all about paying it forward and teaching that to the next person. And the more we could connect as people, it's one thing to read it and say, okay, this is how you do this on paper. It's another thing when you actually sit down to do it. And so that's why we want to do the workshop just a little more like how it's really done. it's people.
Truthfully, yeah, it's so important to get to connect with humans when it comes to this part too, because there are so many moments that can be really like major roadblocks in the process of opening a business or trying to just stay encouraged with your own current. So being able to have a team or have a community of business owners around you who you've heard from, who have also hit these same different roadblocks and everything, it means the world. So I'm going to add my my Calendly link to this call.
Yes.
So if anyone wants to talk any more, feel free to reach out.
Fantastic, and thank you. We're going to switch into workshop mode. I'm putting the link here so that everyone, as you hop in, this is the direct link. If this is your first time coming into the virtual circle, you can join, and you join by clicking here. If it shows like this, that means you're already a member. You're in. So we have about 36 members. This is our very first beta of this. So thank you for joining us. This is a big experiment. We are just overwhelmed with the interest and support. And we're going to get into the workshop portion of this evening. Now that we've been inspired by all these entrepreneurs, it's time to roll up our sleeves. So go to, once you've logged in, you can now move any of the videos or things that you no longer want to look at. You can move it to working or done. And what it's doing is it's actually moving it down a Kanban board. And this is something we wanted to demonstrate because part of getting things done in a short period of time is being productive. So this is an area that we are encouraging everybody as we start with the workshop. We're just going to take it a few steps at a time. And by the end of this workshop, what we are going to have is something that we can implement either in our own business in the next 30 days to make a difference for our business, or for our communities, or to make a difference in others' lives. So depending on your goals and purpose right now, we had a lot of New Year's resolutions. Feel free to share if some of the things you want to do this evening or what you're thinking about is for your business. Feel free to share that in the chat. Is it for maybe a purpose, something that you're really passionate about, you want to share your skills with the world, or is it perhaps something that you want to be able to support, so like a community cause or project like In the Black. So it's just nice to hear from you guys what your focuses or priorities are right now as we go along, so feel free to share that. And as we go in, let's get everything clear off. This is just a few minutes. Take that moment, turn off those notifications. Let's clear our tabs of distractions. We've all had long days. We know this is just in addition to whatever else that we are working on. So give a moment to really prepare, because this is hands-on. So right now you've been doing listening and shopping and relaxing and getting inspired, but this is actually going to be you answering questions and sharing things together. So ready to roll up our sleeves. And now I'm going to move this into done. So that we are now clear board and we are going to get started. So the first thing is I'm going to go in here and assign our first packet for our workshop. So let me get everybody here going. Okay, we've got our feature and I'm going to assign the workshop. All right, so you are in, and now we're going to go to the question section. And the first question is going to be something we are going to answer together. Before we do that, what we are going to do is introduce ourselves. I will start. I'm Alexis Snelling. One of the things that I wanted to just share without going into all the details on my background is this image, because I think an image is worth 1,000 words. My main philosophy and how I got here is really this idea of me and we, meaning everything in life, it takes a village. It takes people around you. It takes teachers, mentors. You don't do anything alone. And that has been my truth and something that I'm sharing about my background, because wherever I needed to go next in life, I had to figure out how to find the right people, find the right resources, because alone I couldn't always access what it was that I needed. So my mom was a single mom, and so a lot of the things that we needed to do started at a very young age. I had to learn how to sell things. This is where the entrepreneurial spirit started. I was a athlete. I was a figure skater. And so you're seeing some very different pictures here of my backgrounds. And this I wanted to show because we all have very unique, different backgrounds. We're all a spectrum of colors and experiences that are unique to us. So as I'm sharing this with you, think about your background. What are things that you've done, even since you were a child, passions, things you've always been interested in? What different types of experiences have you gone through that maybe are really unique to you? Because this is going to be important in the workshop. And hopefully this will inspire a little bit from my journey. Where I trained, I had to figure out how to pay for training as a figure skater. And I did this many ways. I did this shooting weddings. I did this starting businesses, selling raffle tickets outside the grocery store. I don't know if any of you have ever done things like that to raise funds to pay for a school trip or something like that. But this was something that I was continuously doing. And I was able to get to the level of being an Olympic level ice dancer in the sport with my Russian partner. And that was really a moment where there were some international politics that were beyond our control. And I had to pivot. I had to change directions after 25 years. I went to school. I had to figure out, okay, what do I do now if I'm not going to be a figure skater? And so that's really where my passion of photography, which had started out as just a side gig that I could do on the weekends while I trained, ended up being a door that opened up a new career path for me. And that was the second level here in terms of being able to get into the wedding industry. And so then I got into the wedding industry. And then I brought designers to North America, and I started my first online stores and e-commerce for bridesmaids dresses as well as wedding dresses. So at that point, that was when I had really turned my small business into a large-scale national startup at that point. And when I met my husband, and this was an important thing because I realized at this point in my life that maybe I had developed a business, I was paying the bills, I figured out how to do that, but I wasn't really following my passion. And that's when I met my husband, and our superpowers came together. And since then, we have been together creating our own EdTech platform, which is now Skillville. So I'm going to fast forward through some of those details. But what I wanted to show along the way is, first of all, there's always people around you. So whether it's your team, whether it's coworkers, whether it's your community, whether it's just your support system, here's a community I'm a part of. I'm a Google Women TechMaker. These are the people that help you on that journey, develop the new skills you need. So these are very different careers and industries, and you can really pull strengths from all of those things. So now that I've shared, I hope you guys are now introducing yourselves. So go ahead. I'm going to move mine to done since I already answered that. You go to the questions tab, and I'd love to see what your backgrounds are, introduce yourself, and what some of your skills are. That's going to auto-populate into your card here in the workshop. So you can see my answers, and that is something I'm going to just give everybody a moment to go ahead and fill in. So you're going to go to the questions tab here, circle questions, and I believe you scroll to the bottom, you will have your introduction. So take a moment, and we will see some of these responses come in. I'll take a look. Okay, no information there yet, but as we're filling things out, let me see who we've got. Jarvis. They will start showing up. if you are not filling it out right now and you're going to be joining us later, you can go ahead and fill this out even after the workshop via the recording. So we know not everybody can be here on the call with us. But again, this is how we're using technology to be able to really be able to learn all this information and connect with each other. All right, so let's dive right in. The first clip that we're going to share is for us to listen to and start to have a discussion about our skills.
There is a career that you could be passionate about.
Yes, game developer,
nurse, art,
music, writing,
sketch comedy.
I mean, it's no, maybe, I don't know. I'm young, so.
Well, why don't you take that leap?
Fear, rejection.
What's the biggest risk you've taken in your career?
I would say moving. I moved over from my hometown. I don't have a job. This is a very expensive city to be in. And my parents were breathing me down the neck, asking me, are you gonna be flipping burgers? If I need to, yeah.
What's the biggest risk you've taken in your career?
I dropped out of college.
Choosing to leave the military.
Not having money. Following my passion.
I was working in PR. I quit, took a $20K pay cut, ended up at a nonprofit.
It's risky sometimes to do what you know you need to do instead of what you've been told to do.
I think that if you're passionate about something, you're gonna work even harder. You can make a good amount of.
Let's go to the question tab and now think about our skills. What are you passionate about? So what this is now that we've watched this clip together is let's go in and share your passion. So I'm going to scroll through and I'm going to be doing this with you guys. We're just making sure we jot everything down. Okay, let's get through game plan, discovering our values. So what are you passionate about? Anybody want to share from the audience? Come off of speaker. If you can flip on your videos, we love to see each other. Feel like we get to meet you this evening. You are welcome to do so. I will fill this out really quick. So one of the things that I'm really passionate about is being able to teach skills, specifically what this workshop is about, to be able to identify what your passions and skills are, and then discover how you can monetize that, how you can turn the passion and your skills into an actual career or an additional source of revenue, or make that piece of impact that you really care about, that is your purpose. That is what I'm very passionate about. So let's say skills to pay the bills. That'll be what mine will be. That and really teaching that. So helping others do this. That was my favorite thing. Training when I was scaling my company from 2 to thousands, to be able to train everybody so that they have the tools that they needed, that they can drive the business or their goals where they wanted it to go next. So helping others learn how. And the way that I want to do this, so what skills set you apart? I like practical. I don't like getting too academic about things. I like hands-on learning. So that's how I learned. Of course, I do have degrees. I've learned the traditional way as well. But honestly, the things I look back in life that I learned the most were from a mentor or a teacher, or while we were doing something. Maybe it was an internship, but we actually learned while doing it. So for me, that's I think what sets me apart is I like to learn by doing. I like to teach by doing, which is why I love workshops like this. So learning, sharing, and connecting. For me, it's all about the people and while doing. So if that resonates with you, I don't know if it does, just curious, feel free to share in the notes. And what problems do you see around you that you could help solve? So one of the problems that I saw around me was walking in our neighborhood, down the street, seeing, okay, I'm an entrepreneur. I had to figure out how to turn my idea into a reality. And I had to figure out how to pay for that. And so during the opportunity of the pandemic, which is kind of spinning our glass half empty, it was a glass half full moment, is to really see that this was an opportunity for other entrepreneurs who were also struggling during the pandemic, who also felt alone during the pandemic. How could we help each other? How could we really make sure that we could get through it. And that's, you know, something that was very important to me. So one of the problems that I saw was this founder isolation, but figuring out how to do this alone, not being able to meet in person. So how could we find a virtual space, which is why we created Skillville, where people could connect and not have our locations limit us. And also it was important to connect with other entrepreneurs or other people who were working on the same problems and trying to figure out solutions to similar problems that I was facing. So I wanted to also be able to solve the problem of how do you connect to the resources that will help you the most. So that was how I found it, just walking around. There's all sorts of aha moments. So mine was during the pandemic to access the resources needed as an entrepreneur. And forgive the spelling here. Thank goodness for spell check while I'm typing. Okay, so hopefully everybody is going through filling out theirs and really thinking about that together. The reason we want to make sure you're filling this out as we're talking is that you're not here just to listen to me. We're here to do it. We're here to really reflect together and be able to enter in your response. As you go through, again, everything that I'm answering is auto-populating. So this is really like our filling in our workbook here. And this is going to be important for us to see by the end of this workshop what our game plan is. Okay, so are you guys ready? Feeling good about the next section? So now that we have discovered our unique value, and hopefully you guys have entered that in, let's go. I'm going to move this part to done. That has to do with our unique value. Now we are going to brainstorm. What can we actually do with that value? So what are the types of creative ways that we can use our unique skills, our backgrounds, the problems we can help solve, and turn that into monetization or maybe impact, something that we can actually help others or help our communities. So that's the impact focus. So we're going to take our superpowers, which we already have, our unique experiences, maybe our unique stories, helping others maybe who were like us, helping others who are different from us, broaden their perspectives, whatever those superpowers might be. And some of the ways we've just been brainstorming here, we encourage you to brainstorm with us to be able to think about different ways you can share your knowledge and your skills. And this is just based on your passions and who you are and your uniqueness. So some people do that through unique courses, workshops. This is a workshop. That's one of the ways that I like to communicate and offer impact in my community and help others. So feel free to give a thumbs up if you have done online courses or workshops or have ever considered it. Always good to know one way or another. There's consulting and coaching. Now this is a totally different route. That's where you're really helping guide people more one-on-one or in a group setting. That's something that is a way that you can take that and convert it. We have membership communities. So that would be like, we're going to have a website and people can join the group. And it could be a site that's for a cause or a mission. And it could be free or you could charge. So that could be monetized. It doesn't have to be. Do you have digital products? So let's think about what it is you could create. Maybe your skills are physical and it's like creating a t-shirt or that sweatshirt. That's a physical product, but are there things that go along with the physical product? Maybe there is something digital that you could add on to that. So how could you add value to that sweatshirt? One of the things that we saw earlier from In the Black that they did so well was tell the story. I mean, that's a really simple way to add value to a product. You're just sharing the story. You're sharing the purpose behind that piece. It is something that don't overlook. That is something you can do right now to add to any of the products or services, is think about how you can share more behind that product or service. And that's just maybe a recording, maybe writing a paragraph, maybe it's a photo or a quick video of you while you're making it. But those are the types of digital things that add value to the physical products, but also to your brand. And that's one of the things we really want you guys to start brainstorming right now are, okay, what are the different ways you could choose your purpose, your impact, or what you want to do for your business in the next 30 days. And think about these ways of additional things you could sell based on your passion. So just using your brand, just using your story, just using your secret sauce and what makes you unique. So this is the thought we want to go with. We don't have to go out and purchase anything to do this. This is a great place to start. And it's also something you don't want to overlook. A lot of times we jump right into all the things that cost money and getting the store set up and getting the products created. And this is sometimes a very easy low-hanging fruit that we can add and value within the next 30 days. So as you're thinking about affiliate marketing and sponsorships, this is another area we encourage you to look into. Affiliate marketing is if you are sharing products, for example, to someone else's website. And when you use that affiliate link, where you're recommending it maybe on a blog or a newsletter, if they click on that link, then you get credit for a percentage of whatever it is that they buy on that site. So that's something you can look into. It's often, there's a lot of options here, but one of the things we wanted to dive into is sponsorships. A lot of us don't even think we're sponsor worthy. And part of what we're doing here this evening is going to be identifying how you are sponsorship worthy, how brands want to make a difference in our communities, and they can do it by sponsoring you or us, because we are the local brand. We are their way to connect to local missions, local purposes. And this sponsorship is really this whole new category that we want to make sure everyone is exploring and aware is out there, which is being a skill micro-influencer. And that's really where Skillville, we are inviting everybody, if you're interested to learn about how to become a skill influencer, we have a circle that you could do this free, and it will get your skill influencer profile and sponsorship ready so that brands could start to sponsor you. And it's just things you're probably already doing and passionate about, but that's something we will be sharing with you. And it's a whole new area. So it's, if you've heard of influencers, don't let that scare you. You don't have to have 1 million. You don't have to be a Kardashian. That's not what we're talking about. A micro skills influencer, you can have a smaller audience. In fact, that's better. You want to have quality, not quantity. So it will show you more about that, but don't let yourself be limited thinking, oh, I can't do that. These are all areas you can do. But we're going to now go through and see out of this list, out of any others you might have come up with yourself, now that you think about your personal brand and how you could monetize that in the next 30 days or create some immediate impact in the next 30 days, let's go to our questions tab and input what we are going to do. So now that we have discussed this one, we are going to choose the right strategy. Explore first. I don't want to skip that. Okay, so we have lots of ways we can make skills. So you could enter in many ideas here by just adding more. I'm going to enter in a couple just so you can see. So the first way that I can make money for my skills or passions, one of the things that we are going to be offering here is this workshop. So this workshop is an example of making our community impact. So that's one thing that I'm doing. Make sure that these answers that you put in are specific to you. So we want you to be thinking about your ideas. What could you be using your passion, your ideas to make money or impact in the next 30 days? So these are your answers. I'm just doing it so I can make sure you're comfortable as you're filling them in. Brainstorm a specific customer. So who is this for? So in this case, for this workshop, this is for our communities of impact, because our idea is if we can share these tools with you, you can learn this, you could put it together in this formula, then you can go back to your communities and there's a ripple effect. And Josh had mentioned that earlier, that this is all about paying it forward, and we can really make a huge difference this way. So it's not just learning how to do it for ourselves, but teaching others helps you learn better. And teaching others also has this ripple effect. And the more community we have that are very purpose-driven and mission-aligned, the more support that we're going to have and the more help we're going to continuously be surrounding ourselves with. So this is something that is really, I think, defining our audience. Your audience might be a specific type of customer you're hoping to acquire. It could be a specific audience, maybe it's a school or a group that you're mentoring or tutoring. There's lots of things here. So think about, for that type of skill or passion that you have, how you're going to do it, who's the audience. And then let's look at the potential. Just estimate, don't overthink this, but in the next 30 days, how big of a ripple do you think you can create? Or what is that metric you want to say, okay, this was successful if I helped 10 people. Maybe it is I hosted a workshop for the next 3 months. From that, whatever that activity you're going to do in 30 days, what's going to be the impact? Is that going to affect 50 people? Is it going to affect 100 people? Is it going to make you X amount of dollars in sales or revenues? Are you going to be testing something before you launch it? So you're using it for feedback. Whatever that metric is, you want to identify it. So for this workshop, what we are doing, our metric is in the next 30 days, I could potentially, and I'm going to say, help 100 entrepreneurs launch their micro-influencer careers on Skill Build. That's my goal. That's why we're doing the workshops and want to help people learn the tools and have the tools that will help them do this so they can follow and pursue their passions, make that impact in the community that they want to make. So I'm going to put down here 100 entrepreneurs become skills-based influencers. And some influencers will want to be paid. My goal is that these would all be paid. And the reason that I say that is because we all have good intentions, but there are marketing dollars, there's value here. You don't necessarily have to charge the end receiver of your good, but you can get sponsorship money from brands who want to support people who are doing and products who are making a positive impact. Don't leave those marketing dollars on the table. Take them, and then if you don't need them or you want to convert it into the next project, great. But that is there to sustain you and to push the mission forward. So just because you're making a positive impact, we want impact and profit so it can be sustainable. So here I'm going to make sure that this is 100 entrepreneurs become paid skills-based influencers. All right, so we're going to do this. I'm going to send in my answers. If you have multiple things you might want to do, go ahead. And just as a reminder, as you're answering these questions, as you're thinking this through, and you're really getting to the plan with us, all of this is being saved. So it's not disappearing. You're seeing it now. Okay, so here's what I came up with. So just know it's all there. And by the time we get to the bottom, you'll see how we've guided you through so you're ready to take action together and make this happen. Okay, so let's go here to the, we did our brainstorm, so we're done with that. And now we're going to create the game plan. So we are almost at the the finishing line before our networking session. So let me move that to my working tasks. Complete this. There we go. I'm just clearing the board so I can focus. Awesome. Let's open up our game plan. So this is really how we've got the sauce. We have identified our passions and we've identified some ways that we can monetize it. We selected some and thought it through. Okay, what do we really hope to get out of that in the next 30 days? And now we're gonna put the recipe together. What's the next step? What are we going to do from here? So this is the entrepreneurial muscle. You got to make a plan, and we can help each other making those plans. You could share your plans, but the things that you need to start to be thinking about is just like a recipe. What are the ingredients that you need to do this? To actually put on that workshop, or to actually become a paid micro influencer. That might be joining the free circle that we're creating, where it'll take you through the next 30 days to do it. Is it finding the right tools, saying, hey, look, I need to learn how to put together a flyer, or whatever that might be. So one of the big things about this workshop, as you'll notice, is that we're thinking about the tools and the ways that we can actually have the pieces of our recipe or the ingredients of our recipe brought together and how we're going to cook it up. So I hope the recipe analogy helps. What's the game plan? So as we go through, we want to make sure the two things are met. Me and we. So how will it help you reach the goal you want, which is, in my situation, the 100, or how will it be able to help them and the community? So go ahead and fill that out in the question tab. We're going to bring Joshua back on as you fill out the communities and how you are going to implement a plan. Hey, Josh, let's go ahead and
Hey, y'all.
bring you back on.
I'm back.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming back in. We were just guiding everybody through the questions. And one of the things that we're just about to do on the networking portion of the evening is whether people are taking their time to fill out the workbook now or doing it later, or if they're going to be rewatching it and going through and understanding what all these areas are. One of the things I wanted to just share for the networking is this workshop is not by itself. Everything tonight was designed with a purpose. So we started with you as an inspiring shop example community project that is doing so many amazing things. You shared with us incredible story and mission and what's next. And we're sharing our superpowers now to help teach this to others, to start to think about, hey, how could I as an entrepreneur take my passions and skills and how could I transform them? And what tools could I use to do this? So as we've gotten to this part, now we have a purpose, right? So now we're to the point where in this workshop, we're figuring out some of the avenues we could do to take that next step, to either maybe make more money in our business, reach more customers, build our audience. That's all up to everybody in the workshop, what their personal goal is for it. But we've at least helped ask the questions to help us identify that for ourselves. And now that we've filled that out and we share that with the circle, now we have a circle of allies, which is what brings us to this tab. First of all, this is the discussions tab. This is for you at any time to ask questions of each other. Everybody who signed up for this workshop, even if they couldn't participate live, this is all the people that already signed up. And that means that they're interested in filling out these questions, in learning about the project, in taking that next step forward with you. So you are surrounded, you're not alone. And that's where networking comes in next. Is okay, we've been inspired, we see it's possible, we take that first step, we're learning now what the heck we need to do. And now we need the support of our community. And Joshua, this is the community portion. you shared how many partners it took in the community to get In the Black off the ground. So how important is networking and sharing what you are doing with others? Make sure they answer these questions, even if it's not tonight or right now. Why is this important? Why should we do all this?
Absolutely. Yeah. I would say probably 60% of my job is networking. And that's, attending calls like this, being in person, doing panels and so on. And the reason that's so important is just because there's something that cannot be duplicated when it comes to having a bond, right? You can be a friend with someone digital, but when you have that networking opportunity like we're doing here, even in this virtual space, we're creating a memorable moment for all of us to be like, hey, man, I know who I have to lean on. I know who I have to tap to, in with if I need something done or need, to need a thought partner even on an exercise. So I would definitely say that as I look at and think about just like what we've been able to accomplish this year because of the different networks and communities that we're a part of now, a lot of what we are doing here at In the Black would not be possible had we not just taken the time to, join in on this call or send that email back and just, and not, I think also what can be important is not to send that first email or second email sometimes with the mission in mind, but just taking that time of being like, hey, I really appreciate and respect, your time in this space or industry, and would love, this is where I'm coming from. Just like, you want to actually build a relationship that people can, know that they also can bank on. And, a level of reliability that also comes with that. So I 10 out of 10 every time. I'm like, your network is what gets you places in every shape or form, be it a business owner, be it, on your career path, be it, finding a partner. All of these different things in life can truly be impacted by your network and community. So I'm so happy to hear that everyone's going to be filling those questions out because we're loving that, and are really excited to learn, the people who are truly interested in wanting to, partner with us, be it through just like, advocacy and support or on further levels. So please fill them out, and thank you so much.
Well, and this is how we fill it out in a way that we know we can't always hop on that call. Like there is a limit to how many hours there are in the day. And so leveraging the technology, right, to say, okay, as long as we all fill this out in the next day or so, we'll send a reminder in another day saying, okay, we've got a bunch of them filled out. Now let's all go in and support each other and see how we can help. Can we partner? Can we find synergies? And, the fact that it's so specific, we all know why we're here. We all know we're working towards a similar goal. That's what makes it so much easier, because you can go on social and try to connect with people and it might take a month before somebody accepts you. Here, we're already allies. You're already in. I mean, this is like, you've just saved yourself a month of back and forth just trying to connect with someone. And then on top of that, you're connecting with a really clear purpose. And that's what is so important. And one thing we wanted to show is that after you've answered your questions, you could copy this URL. And this is the clipboard. That is your unique link with all your answers. So it's easy now that you filled all this out. See, there was a purpose to it and why we want you to do it. Is this link you can share on social media. Now you could go to your Facebook and your Twitter and your LinkedIn and you could say, hey, this is now what I'm doing. And I would like your help, which is actually one of the things in the questions. If you go all the way through, it's going to say to the community here how they can support you. A lot of it's just asking. Joshua, can you just share the importance of just sharing your story and asking for what you need or you don't have?
Yeah, absolutely. We've witnessed many a time actually when we have different pop-up events. Some of our business owners get to meet at those and they become like kind of an unofficial networking space. And so often we watch business owners share contacts when it comes to like, oh, this is who I buy my shirts from. This is who I buy my, get my embroidery done, or like, maybe you should talk to this tax person, and all of these different things that come up. But it is in that, time that they took kind of to just, step outside of yourself and ask that question, you know, kind of like just because we don't know everything and nor are we designed to. And I think the most important lesson to learn as a business owner especially is that you're not required to know everything.
No.
The second you think you are is a key indicator that your business is going to, you know, you may find roadblocks. I won't say fail because there are people out there, but you are not setting yourself up for success when you look at and you think, oh, only I need to know all this information. The more you can share, the more it hypes people up around you also. Right. And from that hype, you get people who are like, hey man, I know this person who does X, Y, and Z. Let me introduce you to them.
Yeah.
And that moment of just hearing that first person be like, let me introduce you to so-and-so, because you took that step of vulnerability, but confidence in your vision, in your project, in your business, that can be the difference between, you know, an idea, unfilled out questions, you know, and an actual starting place. So
that's it. And we've pre-packaged this. So you don't have to think about all these tips we're telling you. Literally all you have to do is, you know, take a moment, reflect, give an honest answer. And I love that you said you don't have to know anything. We don't know anything. That's the beauty. We all have different superpowers. And this is free. This is not, we don't have to pay for a more expensive subscription to do this. This is a free, just be smart. Leverage this technology so we can input a smarter way to network, a smarter way to connect. And that's really how we're going to drive the change. And this is so simple, it's so organic and community driven, but we're combining that with technology because it is hard to get people together and we can't always be together. And why let that slow us down? We're using the technology to make it happen faster, and that way we can all go further together. And then the ripple effect is just, it's contagious. I love the way you said that. It's just, it picks up momentum. Everybody wants to be a part of it. So you can be the igniter of this. And the way that you do that is, I encourage you to fill out these very strategic questions because the answers are there to help you, when you share your profile, attract those allies, attract that next sponsor, attract somebody who's like, hey, I know somebody. That's how it happens. But let's manufacture the serendipity using the technology. Cool. So this is why coming in here and filling them out is important. And of course, as you go through your game plan, you're going to identify, hey, I don't have all the stuff I need. And that's okay. That's the whole part of being an entrepreneur, is you're dealing with limited supply or resources, or there's always something not enough. That's the reality. But if we can tap into our networking, we can ask our network, that is how we can open the doors. Sometimes we think we need something. Maybe somebody else says, hey, you know what? You really don't. You could do this instead. Or you could do this first to get things going. So asking for things is not always you have to get that thing. Sometimes you're going to get unexpected knowledge, unexpected insights, unexpected new ways to still help you get to where you want to go. So be open to the possibilities. And that's why it starts with you sharing, okay, this is who I am. This is what I want to do. This is my goal in the next 30 days. These are all very specific things. People say, okay, I get it. I know the context of who you are and what you're doing. And that way, whatever they offer that they can provide you with, some of the things may be just what they realize you might need. Some might be something you ask for specifically. So fill out these questions so that the networking can happen within the circle. We are all allies. We all have different superpowers. We've got people who are very strong in technology, in business, in entrepreneurship. We have people who are artisans and who are creators. We have people who are just wanting to make a difference and they volunteer and they mentor. I mean, all of us, sometimes we're all those things too. It's not like those are separate people. Each one of us. Joshua, do you have that experience where people don't realize, oh, yeah, I'm this in the black, but I also...
Absolutely.
Like, what are some of your other superpowers? People may not even...
Oh my gosh, as you said that, I laughed because am here today as the manager here at In the Black. Last night I was DJing an event. Earlier that day I was, doing interview for an article. So, I wear a bunch of different hats. And so, but it's what makes this really interesting is that even last night was, someone was like, oh, wow, you're DJing tonight. What else do you, and, you feel that immediate urge to be like, oh, well, this is just what I do on the side, or trying to kind of diminish some of those qualities that you have. But even with something like DJing, where I was like, if I'm being honest, it had been almost 5 years really since I had been behind the turntables, but I need more opportunities to practice and to do it more and all of that. So in that same sentence, I was like, no, this is exactly what I do. And I make, I produce music, and I've been, I have music on SoundCloud and Spotify and Apple Music and all of this. So I love that you mentioned that, like, we all wear these different hats and we apply them differently, be it our professional lives, our entrepreneurial lives, and so on. And while in the same sentence of saying, like, you don't have to know everything, as a, part of being a business owner is that fact that you kind of already know a lot. And it's what is leaning into, you being able to start that up, those businesses up. So
identify those skills, those superpowers. There are so many more, and hopefully now that we've just been talking about this, right? Hopefully now you'll catch yourself and be like, oh yeah, I do this. Or tomorrow you'll realize I have another superpower. I can do this too. Or, oh, I don't need to have my hair and makeup done. I'm actually pretty good. I can be like, but there are a lot of skill sets, and we encourage that and embrace it. Don't diminish it. Those are all things that you can put towards what it is that you're trying to accomplish. And the other thing is, we never know who we're talking to and what else they're doing, or what else. You may know them in one capacity and you may not yet realize, but when you share your passion and something you're enthusiastic about, you're going to discover and attract, again, like a magnet, people to you, because they also probably have a shared passion. And that is what Skillville is all about, is if you share what it is you're working on or what you're doing, and you figure it out together, you're not alone, so it's less scary. It's not academic, this is all together. It's hopefully very comfortable. Then when you share that out, this is how Skillville helps you set yourself up so you can attract more aligned networks. And so as we're talking about networking, I bet a bunch of you were thinking we're doing like speed dating networking, where you go in and you talk and you spend all the time. Like, no, this is the future. This is leveraging technology to network smarter, to get us further, and also not have to feel like we have to fit into one box when we're DJing, or one box when I'm a CEO, or one box when I'm a figure skater. We are all those things at the same time. And we want you to know that those are your superpowers. And the more you share who you are, your story, you are going to give permission to others to gravitate towards you and share theirs. And they will bring their superpowers, because this is how you actually go way faster networking than the speed networking events, where it's very superficial. This is, you're connecting with people because it's your purpose. It's what you're passionate about. It's where you want to go, because all of us have a purpose or passion or a place we want to go. It's not where we are now. It's not necessarily who we are now. It's where we want to go and who we're going to be. And so that is what's so cool about, I think, what we're doing here differently with networking. And we appreciate all of you guys kind of experiencing this beta together, because it's a whole different way of looking at networking. It's very, very clear about what I'm trying to do. And other people are being very clear. You're being honest, you're being open, you're being transparent. And it saves so much time. On my LinkedIn, if you see me, that's what it says on my headline, taking the BS out of connecting. Because we need to use our superpowers and our energy towards what it is we're really trying to accomplish. And here in this case, it's what we are going to set out to accomplish in the next 30 days and fill out these questions so we can really pull that together as a community and a network. What do you think, Josh, on that? Does anything you want to add in? I know you've shared some really great examples and stories of this networking superpower and how to leverage it for what it is you want to do or get to next.
As I was listening to you talk, I just was starting to think back on the importance of being your truest self when you come into a business space, when you come into an opportunity, an entrepreneurial opportunity, because you only really you'll have a chance to kind of reinvent, but you only get that first opportunity to introduce yourself to someone. And so you kind of like being upfront about who you are and what skill sets you bring to the table. I think it almost can be very reassuring to someone that you're planning to go into business with. And that can be something as small as being like, hey, I'm Joshua, I have ADHD, this is how I operate, this is how I learn, this is how I work, or hey, I'm a left-handed Northern Californian, so when the sun disappears, I get super sad and don't call on me to do anything, right? Whatever the story may be, or something more uplifting, of course, but these are things that are uniquely us. And when you share something on that level with someone, it creates an immediate sense of closeness, of comfort. It's like the power of like having, like, my name is Joshua, but I also introduce myself as Josh. Even in something as small as that, I haven't told you much else, but I've created like that environment of like closeness and informality and casualness that we can operate within. So I just encourage you to think on your path, your trajectory, and what makes you feel the most authentic version of yourself, and how do you present that to the world in a way where you feel empowered and people are able to receive that and really value who you are. So that's one of the biggest things I've learned just in being in this space. It's just being your truest self, kind of like being transparent, and trusting that like the right people are going to hear that and want to work with you.
I love it. And then you've got the right team, right? That's how you attract the A team, the dream team, whatever.
Exactly.
It happens organically, but really it's not that magical when you just realize it starts with you. So if you present that, then that's the chain reaction that needs to happen. So with these questions, I know this is a very different way to network, but it's not only here to help you think through and develop a plan, which it is. Answering these questions is going to get you through to a plan. It's going to help you guide that recipe of what it is you're going to do. It's going to help you say, okay, out of all the ideas I came up with, which one does the highest ROI? Like, which one am I going to make the biggest impact with in the next 30 days so you could prioritize it? It's going to do all those things. But the real power is now that you want to do it. It's not just a plan or idea in your head, but now you're going to tell and share it with the world. And being an entrepreneur, that is a big thing. So if you're nervous about doing that, do it with us. We're all doing it. That's why we're doing it together. Like, you're not alone.
Absolutely.
And that's totally normal. Like, right? It's a muscle. Until you work that muscle or foreign language, until you practice it, you're going to feel a little scared the first time you try to do it. But we're all doing it. And so that's where discussions, you want tips, you want to practice with each other to do it first. This is we've got a group of allies who are all here doing and sharing those things together. And oops, sorry, that's Bernie, my dog.
We woke up.
This is why we have this safe zone. And inside this circle, it's a members only area. You've joined. So just know, like, the only time you choose to share this out, when you're ready, when you've answered everything, if you're not sure about your answers, you can talk in the discussions privately, figure it out until you do feel comfortable to enter in your answers. Like, do what's right for you. Just know we're all here. And we will give our input, our support, our feedback along the way. And we get what you're talking about. You don't have to explain everything to us, right? Like, we're all here. We all part of the workshop. We all understand. And only when you're then, okay, I've got my idea, I got my plan, you gotta do it. The workshop is not done until you truly share it and can tell the community as an entrepreneur, as an impact maker, as a leader in your community, as somebody who is following their passion, share it with the world. It sounds so cheesy, but it's true.
It's the cheesiest but realest thing, unfortunately. Like, it took this job for me to get over that hump of, like, you know, what all of those really cheesy things that we, you know, say people say, they started in a truth and they started in like a reality. And it's like, we, even right now, you know, are our worst advocates and critics and the largest roadblock in our own lives.
That's it.
So take the, you know, as, you know, Alexis is saying, like, taking the time to, even I'm sitting here like digesting and thinking, I'm like, man, I know I need to do this myself. I need to go ahead and just like sit down and establish, like, what am I creatively, you know, like, what does that look like? Who does that entail to? And, you know, what is that supposed to feel like for me? And this is like those type of exercises that we do, and especially getting to have a kind of like cohort to work through that with.
Yeah.
It truly gives you some backing and some, you know, some encouragement. So,
well, I'm going to pass along a kind of a bonus gift here, which is, of course, my mission is to help 100 entrepreneurs, everybody in this circle, reach your goals in the next 30 days. Tap into your abilities, who your passions are, how you could share that with others, how you can monetize it, whatever it might be. So I've got some things I want to share with you guys, and you can think on networking. You got to finish the workshop first. Please finish the workshop first. That way all of us can know who you are. I mean, that's where the magic, that you have to start the chain reaction. So listening to us, great. Doing it, rolling up the sleeves, answering the questions, being brave, just sharing that link of what it is you answered with others so that we can help, so that you could start attracting and making steps towards it. That's number one. But once you've done that, which hopefully you can just, now we're making you feel more comfortable to do it, I am going to give you a bonus item. So let me go through here. And this is something that I want to share with you. Yeah, perfect. Okay, this is your 30-day journey on Skillbill. And what this is a way, one of the things that I wish I could go back in time and do as an entrepreneur, and I think a lot of us feel this way, is like be able to document what it was when we started, like from the beginning. Joshua, you guys have that great video of when the store was created before it was open. It's pretty powerful to see that.
absolutely.
And you can see, first of all, you give yourself credit for how far you've come. So document right now from the start. And we are making this easy for you to document. So I've just added to our board the next 30 days. And so what we are starting you on every week, we're going to post a new thing. And all you have to do is go through every day and follow along. So I'm taking the thinking off for you. The only reason you don't do this in 30 days is because you didn't log in, or you didn't schedule it on your calendar, or heaven forbid, if something did happen in your life, of course, come back to it. Like, we all have start and stops. I'm not, no shame on any of that, like life I get, but you can do this. And really all you have to do is schedule. When do you have your coffee? When do you have your tea? That's how I schedule it on my calendar before my day starts, walking Bernie by in the black shop, going to Starbucks, and on the way back. That 5-10 minute period, that's all you need to just think about this. And so I've got every day for the first week, you could revisit your aha moment. So think about reflection, what you're going to do. The next day, it might be think about your customer. So we're asking you all these questions, and there's a reason for it. So this is your thought of what you need to reflect on. And then when you go into your the questions area, you're going to see week 1 and 2, I've created a time capsule waiting for you to upload your journey, and it connects to those questions. So the aha moment video, you're walking on that talk or walking on that walk with your dog, you take your phone, record it. It doesn't have to be pretty. In fact, the more real, as you're walking down the street and you're thinking, like Josh, you got your earbuds in, he's walking. Guys, it's authentic. The world, they love that because it's like, oh my gosh, I get to see the making and the behind the scenes of it. So imagine this as your behind the scenes trailer. We're doing it as you're going through it, and you just record a quick video, a minute, 30 seconds, just what your thought was. It doesn't have to be perfect. Don't overthink it. Just do it. Work that entrepreneurial muscle. Just put one step forward, one piece of content, and you upload it. So you can actually upload your video right here. And whenever you upload a video, give it a second. You're going to see the little timer go around, and you'll see the preview of that video kind of play a few seconds right here, and then you'll submit. So that is how you upload. So I think most of us from our phones, we know how to take a video. We do it all the time for social. And then you know how to select a file and upload it. That's all you need to do. And when I send this form that shares what I'm working on or my story, my aha moment, whatever it was that I was doing that day, then that's going to be documented to that link. So what started as a link of sharing your idea to attract people, now you can keep people up to date with what you're doing every week towards that goal. The more you share, the more your family and friends will support you, the more they'll see, oh, she's serious about this. It's not just talk. Like she's actually doing, oh my gosh, now they're gonna see and support you on Facebook because they're gonna be like, I love your aha moment. I was there with you when you did that. Or I remember, like all of a sudden that's gonna bond them to you like glue. And they're gonna be rooting for you and cheering. And Josh, you said it earlier, you become fans of the brands. And this is how you become that brand. You're driven. Yes, it's you, but it's you on your mission. It's you on your purpose. And so this is how now every week, all you have to do after you finish the workshop, because you have to network, you have to do that first step. But once you do, we're going to go in here and just look for the next 30 days. And every week I'm putting up the new, every day, what you think about on that 5-minute break, that 10-minute break. And then when you go in, you answer your uploads. So you could document that journey, put in the work, think about it, reflect on it. You are going to love this a year from now, a month from now, and look back and say, oh my gosh, here's my story. So when I go to my profile, it's everything from when I first identified my superpowers to me now with my community reaching that 100 entrepreneurs that are now paid influencers, or whatever your goal is, or helping those students get enough funds to host their hackathon. Whatever it is, you're going to have the whole journey from the moment you came up with it here together, and we're going to support each other on that journey. We're going to help you through on the days you don't feel like doing it, you feel down. Like, this is a safe space and circle. This is here to share your story publicly, to continue to attract allies, but everything inside the circle, the discussions are just for us. It's other people doing the same thing. We're all in your shoes. We're all feeling this way. You are not alone on Skillville. And so we are providing some tools and some guidance to kind of allow us all to work through this together and stay on the same page. But that's our gift to you. And when you work through this and you get through that first 30 days and you hit that goal, of course, keep going. I mean, the thing about Skillville is this is one of many circles that we're launching. We're so excited to be partnering with In the Black first as one of our very first demonstrations. You guys are first movers. You've always done things first. So this is your comfort zone to just dive in, but this will be expanding. And there's a lot of circles. I know I mentioned one earlier, becoming a skill influencer. This is when you want to start to get paid. But I'm telling you, everything that we're doing here in this workshop is going to get you there. And so take it one step, one day, one coffee at a time. Trust yourself, be authentic, follow Josh's and In the Black's inspiration, follow each other's inspiration, cheer each other on, support each other. I mean, the hardest part is trying something new and doing something you haven't done before. Until we work those muscles, it's going to get easier as we do it more and more every day. I know I chatted too much, Josh, on that, but I wanted to give everybody the grand design, the reveal at the end of, how this all pulls together. And now it's our gift. We're passing these gifts on, hopefully nuggets of whatever you're taking away from it. And we want to see what you do with it. Anything you want to add, Josh, on this? I mean, this is kind of the finale.
Sure. Well, I think most importantly, thank you to everyone who's made it and who stuck around with us today. To Alexis's point, truly what I've learned in this role is that, the number one thing that takes you from being just a thought to a reality is yourself. It's those questions, those what ifs, those I'm not good enoughs, those other arguments and statements that we make internally. I don't know where to start. I don't even have XYZ. I don't have the money. I don't have anything. But to Alexis's point, like, you have a phone, you have a computer that you are connecting to this with right now, and that's the only tool you truly need this day and age. So, I am committing to, doing the 30 days with everyone. I want to, really walk that walk, because my goal is to be able to, share that information and use it to not only impact my own career and future, but also to be able to share that with our businesses and vendors and, future vendors as well. So I really learned a lot. Thank you so much, Alexis, just for, letting us be a part of this, but also allowing us to share some of the insights that we've learned over time. And also for, Scoville for providing this opportunity and tool for us to use. So thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate everybody who's come. I mean, as we said all night, like, it takes a huge group of people, talent, efforts, all of us to do this. But the cool thing is that we have it. It's here. We've had to build it. This used to be a lot more painful doing it organically. It used to have to take a lot longer to network. Anybody who's gone down that path knows how long it takes to build this kind of thing up. So we're excited to really give everybody a leg up. And this is what I always wanted. This is how I always felt supported, was when I found a group of people who could help me get there, who could support me. And it is through all those doubts, and it is through all those questions along the way. And it is also to hold yourself accountable. One last thing I just wanted to share, because the numbers, they don't lie. When it comes to collaboration and network, you have to put yourself out there. You have to share your expertise. But part of that sharing is it's also demonstrating to your community your commitment, so they take you seriously. They see you differently. They see you as a leader. They see you as somebody who's not just talk, but walking the walk. I like the way you said that. And that is a really important step to do. And hopefully the consistency of this, not that you have to be on, Skillville 24/7. In fact, we don't want you on 24/7. We want you coming here every day with a purpose. You're going to do it. You're going to be consistent, and it's going to pay off in those ripple effects that, you can go back to your regular schedule, your regular job, whatever. That's totally doable, because it's not about the time. It's about the quality. It's about the impact. It's about how you're repackaging your brand. It's about this new way of realizing the opportunities that you could unlock for yourself using these tools. And it's at our fingertips. I mean, this is such an exciting time, but it's also scary and new. And we really understand that, and we're all in the same boat. So just as Josh said, we're going to be doing this ourselves over the next 30 days. We'll be sharing our real stories. I've even started documenting a video, a vlog. So, be transparent, be who you are, because it's going to help you. It's going to help others in the circle. You just never know. I think that's the power of, we'll really one of the positive things that came out of the pandemic was the power of us being able to connect as humans. We weren't able to connect physically, but there's the emotional and the supportive and the human. We're driven by passion. We have so much we can share and we can give, and that's free. And that is the Energizer bunny that you need to push you to do it. Just know you've got that supportive network. It's really up to you now. We're going to pass the baton over. We'll give you as many resources and tips as we figure them out on the way. We don't have all the answers. We're just giving a template from neurostrategy studies that we've applied here and technology to make it easy for you. You don't have to code. You don't have to know anything. You just got to use your phone and upload it. We've taken all that out of the equation. Trust me, it looks pretty and simple. It is not. This is like the most complicated thing in the world. But this is how we bring our superpowers, right? Like our superpowers at Skillville, making this possible. You've all got these superpowers. We're going to be learning from each other along the way. So we're excited. We appreciate you guys joining us. I am very, 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 I feel lucky to have crossed paths with you guys in the real world so that we can create this virtual world we've kind of dreamed of. And we want to help you create the worlds that you're dreaming of too, because it's possible. So that's how I want to leave, I think, the evening for us. And Josh, thanks so much for your team there and showing the amazing products and entrepreneurs. And we can't wait to do it again. This was our beta. So thank everyone for your patience as we did our first big test run. Oh, thank you, Carol. I appreciate your support. Yes. And as we conclude at 6 o'clock, just whenever is good for you, maybe schedule it on your calendar. Find that time every day that you could set aside just for you. It's really important so that you can get the most out of the workshop. This was not meant to listen. This was meant for you to do it. And this is meant to help you. And all we could do is take you to the water. You have to drink it. And once we all get in and you've got your next 30 days, hopefully you follow along. Hopefully you make some really amazing connections here with other mission-aligned, purpose-driven entrepreneurs and innovators and out-of-the-box people. I mean, I love the fact that I know there's so many incredible people who are already in the circle. So it excites me because I know some of these people. So please, take advantage of this opportunity. It's really an exercise for you, but it's something that I think is an experience that will hopefully provide you a takeaway in the next 30 days. So in 30 days, we're going to all have these time capsules and these stories, and it's something to look forward to. We hope we've inspired you and made you feel comfortable that this isn't intimidating, that this is something you can do, and a little excited about it. I know I am. How about you, Josh?
I'm feeling the same way. It's so rare that you get off a call that you feel that you were informed on, and there's no financial obligation to. It's literally just like, we just gave you the game of how the world works right now. When it comes to being a small business owner, it's like vulnerability plus, community networking in a legit, real version of your online self, Yeah. There you go. So I'm looking forward to chatting with a few of you guys in our circle and hope to see you on there. And, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you, everyone. It's so good to see you. We appreciate everybody tuning in from across the country.
So cool.
Really, which is super unexpected, but that's what's so cool about digital.
Beautiful.